I want to look at the Russian ruble. Oh my God. Is that the ruble? Oh my goodness. Wow. What does that tell you? The ruble is at 85 rubles to US dollar. This picture is worth $1 billion. Okay. So while I don't even know what to say to this. You guys know what I want to say. If I say what I really think based on this chart, I'll get banned from YouTube. Okay. So do you guys realize that if the value of the Russian ruble goes below these two MRI support lines at 73 and 75, the world is literally saying that 10 years from now, there is a greater probability that the ruble is the world reserve currency and not the US dollar. Do you guys understand what this chart means? People don't understand what this chart means. Yeah, this chart's like says a lot, right? And what did I say? You see this line right there? What did I say? Once we go below this line, watch it accelerate. This is a serious problem for the United States. See, this is what happens when you listen to too much propaganda on CNN that Russians are getting their asses kicked by the Ukrainians. You get into basically they're lying to you. They're completely lying to you, and you're buying into the lies. You're buying into the lies, and more Ukrainians just get killed. You're buying into this bullshit, right? Encouraging more and more Ukrainians to fight to their death. Like, I couldn't believe how reasonable Russian terms are for a ceasefire to save Ukrainian lives. And no one is interested in signing that document. No one. Not Ukrainians that are dying, not Americans watching Ukrainians dying, nobody. But they are interested in sending NATO so that Russia and America can nuke each other. They're very interested in that. That has huge interest in all of Europe. Europe and the United States are very interested in a nuclear war. They're very interested in it. They're not interested in Ukrainians signing a peace deal with Russia. No. That would be bad. But nuclear war, that's good. That's good. That's what they're pushing for. That's what they all want. Well, the US dollar is not falling against the Russian ruble yet. And yet is the key term. The key term here is yet. Okay. But when the ruble goes below 75 rubles per dollar, you're going to see a huge shift. Like the US Fed and the Treasury are literally going to shit themselves and maybe forget about El Salvador and realize what's actually going on a global level. It's not moving closer because everyone in the news is saying how the Russians are losing. The Russians are weak. The Russian military is weak. The Ukrainians are going to win. That's all you hear. If that's all you hear, why would anyone sign that document? Right? So it's one or the other, right? So who's lying? Who's lying, right? If the Ukrainians are winning, why sign the papers? If they signed the papers, were Ukrainians winning? No, they downplay the threat of a nuclear war. They downplay the threat. They don't think it can happen because they're idiots. Hey, Felix, that's exactly what I said. I just said the ruble is still down against the dollar for the year. That's why the ruble needs to appreciate against the dollar for the year, right? That's why the ruble needs to get below $75, ideally even below 70, before people are going to realize, the US dollar has a problem. Tone, do you think Bitcoin will appreciate in a nuclear war? It probably will, but that's not why I believe in Bitcoin. I don't want that. The idiots that want to send anyone that is suggesting NATO interfere with this conflict, they want a nuclear war. That's what these people want. If you hear anyone say NATO should get involved, it's as if they're saying, let's have a nuclear war with Russia. That's what they're saying. That's what they may not understand that that's what they're saying, but that's what they're saying. If you at any point advocated for NATO to get involved, you are in support of a nuclear war. We need a no-fly zone. No, that's the same thing. We need a no-fly zone is your way of saying we want a nuclear war. We want to aggressively push Russia into a nuclear war with the U.S. Or it's another way of saying let's have Americans die, which is fine, which is a notable position, right? NATO should put a no-fly zone over Ukraine and shoot Russian jets down to end this once and for all. No, that is literally the start of a high probability nuclear war with Russia. I am on the opposite of that statement, right? But it's potentially that's where it's going. That's where it's going. What people don't understand is that if Putin is replaced, there is an 80% chance that the person who replaces Putin is more ruthless than Putin. If you think Putin is bad, wait till he's replaced. See, the last president of Russia before Putin was not as I don't want to use the word ruthless, it's a wrong word, was not as, and I don't want to use the word nationalist either because that has a connotation of Nazism. So I don't really have a word to use. And the word weak is not accurate either. So let's say weaker. See, the last president before Putin for Russia was weaker than Putin. And if Putin is replaced, there is a high probability that the next guy is going to be stronger and more aggressive than Putin. He might not be as smart as Putin, but he will be potentially more aggressive and stronger than Putin. And the probability of an escalation and more deaths is higher by removing Putin than not. And no one wants to even consider that possibility. Ukraine's never going to join the EU, guys. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It was never going to happen. It was all bullshit. Like EU was lying to the Ukrainians that they were going to accept them in. It was never going to happen. Ukraine, it's too big of a population, it was too corrupt of a country. It was never going to get into the EU. They were not. It was all. They were lying. They were lying to the Ukrainians. They just wanted NATO. They were taking advantage of Ukraine to put nukes in the country to point at Moscow. There was never any intention to get Ukraine into the EU. It was all bullshit. Ukrainians were lied to and they bought into it. All right, guys, keep an eye on the Russian ruble. That is basically telling you what's happened. The price of the Russian ruble is telling you what's going on. It's telling you if Russia's winning or losing, both economically and on the ground. I personally don't think, Russian people don't have anything against other people. Well, that's too general of a statement, but so we are talking about the politics. We're talking about the politicians. I don't think Russia is interested in the land of Latvia and Estonia and Lithuania. I don't think they are. I think they're perfectly okay with those three countries being their own countries. But I think that if Russia is pissed off enough, they're going to show the US that they have stronger military. And they may go after those countries only because they have NATO in them. And I think the probability of people in those three countries potentially dying from a military conflict is to remove NATO from those countries. But the world sees it the complete opposite way. So a guy with a Litecoin logo is telling me that I don't know anything about Russia and Ukraine, considering I'm half Russian and half Ukrainian. And this is a shitcoiner telling me this. That's incredible. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. Hope I still have some followers. And see you all on the next one.